And she achieves her childhood dream. What's your childhood dream?
To wear Britney Spears' Versace dress.
We're here at the It Ends With Us premiere, a new movie starring Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, Brandon Sklenar, and more, coming to theaters on August 9th. And it's based on best-selling author Colleen Hoover's book, and we're about to talk to the stars. What was it like for you to read Lily's character for the first time, someone who's both a strong woman and a victim of domestic abuse, and how did you bring her to life?
Well, I think she's so much more than just a victim of domestic abuse. That's something that happened to her, but nothing any one person did to her can define her. And she's a woman of multitudes. She's an entrepreneur, a shop owner, an artist, a mother, a daughter, a friend, a sister, a lover. She's all of these things. And so to get to play a woman who experiences so many things and all the colors of the human emotion was just such a gift. So I thank Colleen Hoover for that.
And she achieves her childhood dream. What's your childhood dream?
To wear Britney Spears' Versace dress.
Hi, Queen. You look amazing. I've been watching you come down. You're like floating. You're so graceful.
I do feel like I'm on a cloud.
Seriously, amazing. Well, I saw that you and Blake actually handmade some floral jeans for Brandon.
We ironed on those patches.
That's amazing. What has it been like to work with Blake both on and off set as you've gone through this process?
She is an angel. I literally can't say a bad thing about her. She doesn't have a bad bone in her body. She's been so giving. She has literally styled me tonight. This is all her. So we're wearing Lorraine Schwartz bangles and bracelets, same with the earrings. She's also here tonight, and I'm really excited to thank her in person because, I mean, it's insane. I have no words. And then we have Oscar De La Renta here. Blake was able to pull it for me, and then I got it tailored, so I feel like a dream. It's crazy. And then I am wearing her shoes. These are Blake's from her closet. They're Louboutins. We are the same size. I know, what a coincidence. I mean, there was already enough happening, and then it was like, oh, we also could share shoes, which I love.
And I know you've said that you've literally ran from your job at a restaurant in New York to go to the Book Bonanza.
I actually didn't even make it to my job that day. I literally was at home getting ready, and then I got a call from Colleen Hoover being like, could you come to Dallas, please? And I was like, hey guys, I have to go. And thankfully they were supportive.
Well, fans might be surprised to hear that you work at a restaurant while also starring in this movie. So can you tell me a little bit about living that double life?
Yeah, I mean, we had a strike, so I wrapped my bit before the strike, and then after that, we had a lot of time. And I grew up here. I'm from here. I actually don't hate working in restaurants. I think it's fun, and you meet a lot of cool, interesting people. So, and the restaurant I worked at, Bar 56 in Dumbo, it's across from St. Anne's Warehouse, is an amazing restaurant. Anybody should go, and I will be going back soon. So, yeah.
And what was it about Lily's character that you thought was most important to get across when you were interpreting her?
Oh, I think there's not even one. I think it's her multifacetedness. You know, she isn't just one thing. She's strong and then vulnerable. She's like masculine and feminine. You know, she has so many different parts to her, and it's just so exciting to be able to, as an actor, like play a part that has such depth to it, and also having a literal book that like I can reference from, you know? That's like a dream. It's amazing, yeah.
So you and Isabela have both talked about how nice it's been to be able to trust each other as you came into this process. How did you guys build that trust up between you?
Yeah, so I think it was our second day meeting. I was living upstate New York, and we were rehearsing in New Jersey. And I have like a little teardrop trailer that I needed to go pick up and move because I was like moving back into New Jersey to film this. And we didn't have much time. We had like one day and then we were filming. So I was like, hey, you're at the hotel. You're not going to go back home. Would you want to like just like hang out and talk? And I'm going to drive upstate. And so we drove upstate. She said she was game for it, which is amazing, like super spontaneous.
And you play a much more vulnerable version of Atlas in his younger self. What do you hope that male viewers might be able to take away from Atlas's vulnerability in your performance?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're always told to be, you know, I've been told as a man, like we got to not show any emotion and be the toughest one and always pretend like everything's okay. And like for me, when I've done that, it doesn't always work out good for me. Like it builds up and then people can just read my facial expressions anyway. So I think like what acting has taught me and characters like Atlas is like the more you can open up to someone and connect with someone, the deeper that relationship's going to be, and the more you're actually going to find connection. And that's what we all want. That's what Atlas needs desperately. And I think that's how him and Lily bond.
What was it like for you to adapt both a fan-beloved book, but also a deeply personal story for the book's author, for the screen? What kind of pressures came with that?
There was a lot of external pressure because this book is so beloved. There was a lot of expectation around it. But there was a lot of internal pressure too. I love this book. I'm a fan of this book, and I love Colleen. Colleen is one of the greatest humans out there, and she's telling stories that matter, and she's telling stories from the heart. And so I probably put most of the pressure on myself to make sure that she was happy. She was my North Star all the way.
How did you overcome some of that pressure?
Honestly, it felt good to have her really activated throughout the process. She actually is the one who endorsed me even being hired in the first place. Wayfair Studios presented me as the writer of their choice, and she and I had a beautiful Zoom together. She was in Texas, I was in LA at the time, but we bonded because I'm from Oklahoma. And so we started talking, Midwestern gals, bonding basically. And but there was a lot of trust built in. We were already speaking the same language. And at the end of that Zoom, she said, "Christy's our girl." I felt like I'd won the lottery. But honestly, she read the drafts. She'd give notes. There was this incredible day where we brought fans in. This was early on, before we were at Sony, before any cast got involved. We had fans come in and read the draft, and then we did a round table with them and gauged their thoughts. Me and Colleen sitting right next to each other. Her mother was there as well. And that was a really wonderful day where not only did Colleen want to get it right, but we both wanted to make sure that we were doing well by the fans as well. So I think a lot of care went into it. Every detail. There was no decision that was made lightly.
Why do you think this story in particular has been so resonant with readers for so long now?
I honestly don't know. I sadly think maybe it's because so many people relate to the subject matter, which is really sad. But I think people that read the book have either been through it or know someone who's been through it, so they find it relatable in a way, and that's an unfortunate thing.
And while there are lots of people who love this book, there are also people who take some issue with it and say that it's romanticizing abuse. What do you say to that?
I find Lily's journey empowering and honest and truthful, and the fact that she doesn't make all the right decisions, that's storytelling to me, so I don't really know.
And this movie and story at the end of the day is also about chasing childhood dreams. What was your wildest childhood dream growing up?
To write a book, and now look.
I think wanting to be an actor is a pretty wild dream. I also really wanted to be a professional baseball player.
I really want to one day do a movie where I'm in New Zealand and I'm riding on a horse. I'm a big nerd for Lord of the Rings and fantasy stuff that really just came out of my honest self.
I always wanted to become a professional writer, and so to walk a carpet like this with someone like Colleen, with the likes of Blake, it is, I'm living my dream come true. So to all of you out there, follow your dreams, don't give up.